Good morning, dear children. This is your SST period. Yesterday we started our history textbook, lesson number 3, ruling the countryside. I provided you yesterday some writing work, hard words, then meanings, and important themes of that particular lesson. I think you all has written in your copy. Now today I am starting the explanation work so that you should take out your workbook page number 26 and see that explanation part of that lesson. Before we start the explanation, let's have these brief outlines as to understand the hierarchy of the countryside. So first we have the villagers. These villagers are known as the rayats. The countryside generally we found the villagers, and that the villagers we call the rayat. Next to the villagers we have the senior member that we call the village headman. Then next to the village headman there is the jamindars are there. It means the three types of the people we found in the village side, in the countryside. When we talk about the permanent settlements, it means we are talk about the jamindars. Jamindars are the permanent settlements of any of the country. Then we have the Mahalwari system that focus upon the village headman. Finally, the Rayatwari system that focus upon the Rayat. Means Mahalwari system is introduced or to focus to the village headman, and the Rayatwari system focus upon the villagers, focused upon the common men. So this is the hierarchy within the India, and for the superseding this you have the Britishers who have basically tried to impose power, collections of revenue from the different sources. Then we can see ki basically try to impose the power collection of the revenue from the different sources. Who want to impose the power? Britishers wants to impose the power and the collection of the revenue they need from the different sources. So you have Britishers who have initially started with the permanent settlement and then opposed to had Mahalwari system in the North India and Rayatwari system in South India. That well understand, we move forward. Now everything we are going step by step. First we are starting here from the figure number 1, Robert Clive. See that picture. In that picture we found there is the some Mughals king is there, and with the Mughals we found here the Britishers there. So Robert Clive accepting the Diwan of Bengal and the Bihar, Odisha from the Mughal ruler in 1765. Who was the Robert Clive? You know, dear children, in the last lesson we seen the Robert Clive was the Governor General of the Bengal during that period. And what is mean the Diwani of Bengal? Diwani rights means revenue collecting rights. So Robert Clive now become a Diwani of Bengal, means he having the rights to collect the revenue. On 12 August 1765, the Mughal Emperor appointed the East India Company as the Diwan of Bengal. The actual event most probably took place in the Robert Clive's reign. So that incident when Indian Emperor or the Indian King hand over Diwani rights to the East India Company, that incident is depicted in that picture. The actual event most probably took place, but a actual event most probably where it is took place in Robert Clive's reign, with a few Englishmen and Indian as a witnesses. But in the paintings above, the event is shown as a majestic occasion, taking place in a grand setting. The painter was commissioned by Clive to record the memorable events in Clive's life. Means that painting is depicting the memorable events of the Clive's life. The grant of Diwani clearly was one such event in British imagination. Means what the Britishers actually think that events now come to take place, means that event जो Britishers चाहते थे, what they want, that exactly depicting that event, और ये event जो है उनकी इच्छाओं को fulfill करता है. After that event, Britishers got the right to collect the revenue from the countryside. As Diwan, the company became the chief financial administrator of the territory under its control. Means after that incident, company became the chief financial administrator of India. Means many more portion or bigger portion is under control of the company now. Now it had to think of administrating the land and organizing its revenue resources. Then if we think administrating the land or and organizing its revenue resources, now what the company needs to collect the revenue from the resources, and they want a huge amount of the revenue. They want a huge amount of the revenue. They want to collect the revenue from the different types of the resources. This had to be done in a way that could yield enough revenue to meet the growing expenses of the company. A trading company had also to ensure that it could buy the products it needs and sell what it wanted. Means see, in that time, what the countryside farmers want to grow, they can grow what they want. But when the company got the authority to collect the revenue, that time company forced to that farmer कि ग्रो वॉट एवर द कंपनी नीड्स. कंपनी को जो नीड्स होता था उसको ग्रो करने के लिए वो फार्मर्स को क्या करती थी, मजबूर करती थी. नाउ सी, over the years the company also learned that it had to move with the some caution. Being an alien power, it needed to pacify those who in the past had ruled the countryside. Means here see, being an alien power. Abhi alien power means that they are the outsider. Britishers are outsider. Means easily Indians can't keep the faith upon them. Indians farmer easily उन पे faith नहीं रख सकते थे. So that first what they did, तो company first make the relation with the इंडियन जमींदार जो है उनके साथ या राजाओं के साथ उन्होंने अच्छे रिलेशन को पहले मेंटेन किया. देन दे एंजॉयड द अथॉरिटी एंड द प्रेस्टिजाइज. मीन्स उन्होंने ऑथराइज पर्सन के साथ अच्छे से रिलेशन पहले अपने बनवाए. दोज हु हैड हेल्ड द लोकल पावर हैड टू कंट्रोल बट दे कुड नॉट बी एंटायरली एलिमिनेट. मीन्स उन्होंने जो ज़मींदार से उनके हाथ में कुछ पावर रखे कि रेवेन्यू आप कलेक्ट करोगे और हमें प्रोवाइड करोगे. डायरेक्टली ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ने रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करना स्टार्ट नहीं किया, बट उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने जो रिलेशन है वो पहले किसके साथ बनाए, जो ज़मींदार थे, लोकल लेवल के जो रूलर्स थे. फर्स्ट दे डेवलप देयर रिलेशन विद द लोकल लेवल rulers, and through the medium of them they collect the revenue from the farmers. How was this to be done? In this chapter we will see how the company came to colonize the countryside. So in this chapter we are going to see कि how the company colonized with the people, then how they organize revenue resources, how they collect the revenue from the different kinds of the resources and redefine the rights of the people and produce the crops it wanted. Means here we can say that generally the farmers were growing the rice, then pulses, such a production they were taking. But company wants to grow the indigo crops, and they force for that through the जमींदार जो थे उनके जरिए उन्होंने फार्मर्स को फोर्सिड किया टू ग्रो द सच क्रॉप्स विच कंपनी नीड्स. गॉट इट. But this was the condition going on during that day. Now the revenue for the company. कंपनी को रेवेन्यू कैसे मिलता था? See, the company had became the diwan. Now the company had became the diwan, but it still saw itself primarily as a trader. It wanted a large revenue income, but was unwilling to set up any regular system of assessment and collection. कंपनी वांट अ लार्ज रेवेन्यू. कंपनी को क्या चाहिए था? एक बड़ा रेवेन्यू चाहिए था और इनकम चाहिए थी, बट वॉज अनविलिंग टू सेट अप एनी रेगुलेशन सिस्टम ऑफ असिस्टमेंट और कलेक्शन. द एफर्ट्स वॉज इंक्रीज द रेवेन्यू एज मच as it could and buy fine cotton and silk cloth as cheaply as possible. Means they don't want the regular production which farmers or craftsmen made. They don't want this. They want a more revenue, so that they want to force it to the farmer what the crops they need actually for एक्वायर मोर इनकम. मीन्स ज़्यादा इनकम जिस थिंग से मिलती है उस थिंग को कल्टिवेट करने के लिए उन्होंने फार्मर्स को क्या किया था? फोर्सिड किया था. द एफर्ट्स वॉज टू इंक्रीज द रेवेन्यू एज मच एज इट कुड एंड बाय फाइन कॉटन एंड सिल्क क्लॉथ एज चीपली एज पॉसिबल. Within 5 years, the value of goods bought by the company in Bengal doubled. जो भी गुड्स उन्होंने लिया था उस गुड की वैल्यू 5 years में डबल हुई थी. इट मीन्स टुडे व्हाट द रेवेन्यू दे आर कलेक्टिंग फ्रॉम द फार्मर्स, दैट रेवेन्यू 5 times ज़्यादा हो गया. आफ्टर मीन्स दैट रेवेन्यू जो है वो बढ़ गया 5 years के बाद. गुड्स पे का जो रेवेन्यू था वो 5 years के बाद बहुत ज़्यादा उन्होंने डबल बढ़ा दिया था. बिफोर 1865 द कंपनी हैड परचेस अ गुड इन इंडिया बाय इम्पोर्टिंग गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर फ्रॉम ब्रिटेन. तो व्हाट डिड इट इन we see कि within a 5 years the value of the goods bought by the company in Bengal is double. Then before 1865 the company had purchased a good. कंपनी ने जो goods purchase किया था in India, तो by importing gold and silver from the Britain, जो ब्रिटेन को गोल्ड और सिल्वर जो ब्रिटेन ने import किया था, now the revenue collected in Bengal could finance the purchase of the good for the export. In this para we can say कि company wants to collect more and more revenue from the farmers, but they don't want to become a king. Okay, they are unwilling to become a king, but they needs the more and more रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम द पीपल. फर्स्टली क्या होता था, जब वो कोई भी चीज़ इंडिया से परचेस करते थे, एट दैट टाइम दे give the against of that things, against of that goods, silver or gold. but after some time वो रेवेन्यू इतना कलेक्ट कर लेते थे कि they don't give the any gold or silver instead of that. कुछ भी वो नहीं देते थे. तो the efforts was increase the revenue as much as it could and buy fine cotton and silk क्लोथ्स एज चिपली. और बहुत ज़्यादा कम रेट में वो ये सब खरीदने की कोशिश करते थे. जितना हो सके उतने कम रेट पे वो उसको इंडिया से खरीदते थे. देन what happened in this situation कि कंपनी became the इन हायर मीन्स कंपनी को एक हाई पोजीशन मिल गई. कंपनी एक बहुत अच्छे पोजीशन पे आ गई. बट इन द कॉन्ट्ररी we can say the farmers condition was not good. They are very in miserable condition we can say, and they are facing the many problems कि next year they are not able to grow the crops and all. Means they not having any amount for growing the crops. Soon it was clear that the Bengal economy was facing a deep crisis. Means in that it what happened then मीन्स ये सब हो रहा था, इसलिए बंगाल की इकोनॉमी जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम में थी. देन आर्टिसंस वेयर deserting village since they were being forced to sell their goods to the company at a low prices. और आर्टिसंस यहाँ पे क्या हो गए हैं, आर्टिसंस को भी जो उनका विलेज वो छोड़ के जाना पड़ा, बिकॉज they are not capable to living there, they are not capable to sold their goods to the Britishers. Artisans production was in decline. Now their production is in decline and agriculture cultivation showed the sign of the collapse. And we can see we are here the agriculture also collapse. Then in 1770 a terrible famine killed 10 million people in Bengal. So ड्यूरिंग द 1770 एक फेमिनाइन आई, फेमिनाइन मीन्स भूखमरी आई, एंड वी इस उस वजह से वहाँ पे 10 मिलियन पीपल, 10 मिलियन मीन्स नियर अबाउट 1 करोड़ पीपल वॉज वाइप आउट मीन्स इतने लोग वहाँ पे मर गए. तो in that time there were nearly the 3 crore population in Bengal, but in that population we can say the 1 crore peoples were killed. Okay, so that was the condition during that age. See the figure number 2, a weekly market. This is the weekly market given in that picture. So here we can say कि peasants and artisans from rural areas regularly come to these weekly markets. That weekly markets called a HAAT, HAATS, to sell their goods and buy what they needs. Means they exchange their goods to the another person. These markets were badly affecting during the times of economic crisis. And ये market जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा collapse हुआ था during that period. So this was the condition of the India during this period. Okay, so I think you understand that what is the how the company became the Diwan, and day by day how the company collect the revenue from the countryside people, and how it rooted in India that we are seeing today. Now the next point, the need to improve agriculture, we will going to see tomorrow. Now you have to read 2 points properly. It means the first point, the company becomes Diwan, and the second point, revenue for the company. Read it properly. Okay, goodbye.